Welcome to day 4 of Flowing February. If you've joined me so far, I hope that you're feeling good. Let me know in the comments how your practices are going for you and any questions you might have. Today we'll focus on the pelvis. So how the pelvis moves, how we can keep it stable, and then balance as well. So lie on your back, arms and legs outstretched, perhaps in an X position. Just sense yourself here on the mat. And then lift and reach that left leg away from the body. And then the right leg. And that left arm stretches a little further. And that right arm. So feel the length here. And to support our balance, it's all about proprioception, sensing where we are in space. So sense your body here, trace the outline of your body. And you might even be able to sense the space around the body. Sense into the space around the body. Stay, or if you'd like, draw the legs and arms closer to center and then away, like you're making snow angels. The mat might get caught a little. Feel your body slide along the earth. Build that awareness. One more time, reach, and then continue to circle the arms overhead and draw the legs together. Long body stretch here, point the toes, and let a yawn come. And circle those arms round, hug the knees in toward the chest. And then plant the feet. Really press the feet down. The feet and the legs are our anchor in our standing postures to come. We want that rootedness. So let's just press and soften. Press and soften. How does this perhaps affect your center? Right, the core and the pelvis. Exhale to press. Inhale to release a little. And now tilt the pelvis toward yourself and then let it come back to neutral curves. It's your natural spine. Imprint low spine, so you're allowing it to come closer to the earth, and then release a little. So it's just a little imprint and release. Notice what breath pattern you naturally take. Perhaps it's an exhale each time you imprint. See what effect that has on pelvic floor. Strength through the center. One more. Nice. And this time, press through the arms and the feet. Peel the low spine only off the earth and let it settle back down. Lift low spine and return. So you're trying to round and return. Keep that even press to the feet. That helps with pelvic stability. And then maybe a little bit higher. Into that low back lifts now. So we articulate through more of the spine. See if you can heavy the shoulders. and come up further. So you're kind of landing on those lower ribs rather, not upper ribs, not shoulder bridge. So a few more. Let's do two. And this last one, come all the way to the top and check out if your pelvis is nice and level here. With the pelvis remaining level, see if you can come onto the toes and then onto the heels. Toes will lift onto the toes and then onto the heels, rolling through the foot. Toe ball, heel, heel ball, toe. The pelvis stays level. More time onto the toes and then onto the whole of the foot. Adjust if you need a little bit here. And we'll roll slowly through the spine. Now, imagine your pelvis is a boat. Rock across the back of the pelvis, but press one side down and then the other. So press right side down and then left side down. The other side will lighten as one side heavies, and see if you can minimize the movement of the thighs. So just be a little movement. Seeing what this is like to rock in this way with the press down. And then return to center arms heavy into the earth and peel the spine up, lift into your bridge. And from this level pelvis, now try to dip the right side and then lift. Dip the left side and lift. So continue to dip one side and then the other. Very nice. Perhaps you exhale each time you lift out of the dip. Let's do two more. Last one, press through the arms and lower, lower, lower through the spine. Hug those knees in toward the chest. Then line up the shins, or the thighs rather, with the hip socket. Arms can heavy and extend. Could also have toes down or those shins in alignment with the knees. Squeeze the legs together and let the legs lull over to the right somewhat, not as far as usually go, and exhale back to center. Inhale over to the right and exhale back to center. And here, take a peek at the knees like we did yesterday and see if they're level. This is a more active rotation, more like from Pilates, but it will help us with our yoga. An understanding of stability, pelvic stability. So a few more. Inhale over to one side, exhale back to center. Let's do one more each side. Heavy the arms. Last time. Nice work. Hug those knees in toward the chest. Ground that left foot. Arms can again heavy, and the shin of the right leg is in line with the knee. Reach the toes away, and then exhale to draw in. Reach the toes away, exhale to draw in. And see if you can keep that thigh really stable. Then extend the leg long and draw it in. Reach, draw in. 2. Last one. Lengthen that leg along the earth. Arms stretch overhead. Circle those arms round and bring the hands to heart center. We'll allow that right knee to open to the side here for a supine tree. Flex that right foot. Later on, we'll do standing tree to work on our balance. Feel your body here on the earth. And with control, use the exhale to close that knee. So to return the kneecap to face the sky. Slide that right heel back in to match the other leg. Hands can return to the mat. Draw the left knee in and arc the toes away. Draw in, arc away. Toe doesn't have to touch. Keep that low back still. Now, lengthen that leg and draw in. Lengthen and draw in. And there's a press through that opposite foot. How still can you be? Last one, lengthen, draw in, reach the leg out, heel grounds, arms extend overhead. Circle the arms round, bring the hands to heart center as you open the left or right knee rather out to the side. Supine tree here. On the next exhale, use that to turn that kneecap back toward the sky. Hug the knees in toward the chest. Then we'll let the feet plant and extend the arms and allow the legs to windshield washer side to side. Next time the legs come toward me, roll fully onto that side and press yourself up. Zigzag the legs or stag the legs. Okay. And that hand that's furthest from the shins, lift the arm up, side bend over toward the legs and return. Side bend over, return. One more time over. And then once toward the opposite side. So ground either hand or forearm, side bend. And then we'll circle those hands in front of the body to frame that front shin that's parallel to the long edge of your mat and rock forward and back. See how that feels in the pelvis. And then stay forward just for a moment. Inhale. And exhale to sit up, hands behind the body, and windshield washer the legs seated. You'll turn to face the short edge of your mat. Next time the legs come away from me, stay. The hand that's furthest from the legs, from the shins, lift it over, side bend toward the legs, then sit up tall. Again, side bend and sit up tall. Last one, side bend. And that same reaching arm, ground the hand or the forearm as you side bend opposite way. Hands will circle to in front of that new lead shin. And little rock. Little rock. And then pause, inhale, and exhale. Those hands will come behind the body as you windshield washer the legs. And plant those feet. Press into the arms. See if you can lift your bottom up so that you can walk forward to the front of your mat with the legs wide around shoulder distance and lengthen the legs. Then rebend and lengthen. Let's get into the front of the hip here. One more time, bend. Hands will come to each of the thighs. So one hand on each thigh. Round through spine and lengthen the legs as you roll up and reach those arms to sky in that X position once more. From here, bend those knees and elbows into sides. And then lengthen to the sky. Bend and press out of the legs. And see how evenly you can press out of legs. Inhale to reach. Exhale to squat. And check and see if the second and third, if the knees are in line with the second and third toe. So we don't want the thighs to roll in. We want them to roll out so they don't cave in. Let's do 2 more. Last one, squat a little deeper, lengthen the body, and fold forward. And allow that left leg to lunge back and find a plank here and send the hips nice and high and return to the plank. See if the hips can lift you up and return. Press out of those arms. One more lift. And come forward with the body. Knees can come down and lower onto belly. Press up onto the forearms for Sphinx. And lower right back down. Slide those hands close enough to the body that you feel strong to press out. And tuck those toes, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. And lift that left leg high into the sky. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open toward the left side wall. Then hips face the earth, pelvis faces the earth. And open again. And return. And see if you can keep the weight level through the hands. And that right leg nice and still. Mine's wanting to wiggle. Do your best here. One more stack. And return and draw that leg through. See if you can suction cup it as close into your body as you can. And plant the foot down. Lower the back knee here. Hands clap together as you reach the body tall here. Low lunge. And hands to heart center. Little rock. Now, options for getting up. You could place your hands, pardon me, on the earth. Okay. Or pause here. Tuck the back toes. Lean forward. Hands could come to the thigh if you'd like the support. Some people will do it without their hands on the thigh. Okay. And tuck the back toes and step forward. Okay. Hands to heart center, press your way up to stand. Circle those arms around. One more time, circle those arms up and around. And sink into the chair pose. Forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Inhale, reach those sits bones back. And fold again. Let's step back with the left foot to a lunge. Rock for just a moment. And step back into the plank. Send those hips nice and high. And return to your plank. Hips up and back. And return. One more time, hips up and back. Find your plank. Lower all the way down to the earth. Baby back bend here with the hands off the earth. And lower partway. Lift and lower. And as you do this, press the base of the pelvis down. And see what effect that has. And then lighten the belly button on the earth as you lift and lower. Now this comes from upper spine with the stable foundation of the pelvis. Let's do 3, 2, Last one, lift. Reach those arms back. Maybe even lift the legs into locust. And release. Hands press into earth, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And send that right leg high into the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hips open to the right. And then return, hips face earth. Knee stays bent. Open and close the front of the hip. One thing opens, the other thing closes, but let's do around 2 more, nice and slow. Last time, stack. And then return to the pelvis facing the earth. Come onto the back toes. Really hug that right knee in as much as you can to step forward. I'm still working on that. Lower that back, shin down. Lift up through the arms, the torso here. And hands to heart center. Little rock. Really press into that back shin. And then tuck those toes. Drive into the back of the forefoot or into the forefoot of the back foot. Little rock. Angle the body forward. Maybe you lift that knee and step forward. Hands to heart center and press yourself up to stand. Let's circle those arms, open the heart. And fold for those legs. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. And this time step back with the right foot into that lunge. Little rock in the front of the hip. And hands ground. Step back into plank and lift those hips high once more. Now, you can step or hop to the outside edges of your mat, so wide with the legs, into your mala. Sink the hips down. And see if you can root to rise from here. Press through the feet and find that X position or that star position with the body. Hop or step the feet together. That right leg, lift the knee nice and high. And lengthen the leg and bend. Lengthen and bend and see if the pelvis can remain quiet. More time, lengthen, rebend. That sole of foot will come to the left shin or upper thigh, just never on the knee. The knee is open, we're in tree here. Hands to heart center. And then close the knee or bring the knee forward and then open it to the side. Knee forward and open to side. Let's do one more. Nice, open. You might be able to lengthen that leg out to the side and rebend. Lengthen, rebend. More time, lengthen, rebend. Kneecap comes forward. Lengthen that right leg as you pivot the body forward to parallel for our warrior 3. And see if you can take that left hand down, stack the hips open toward the right for our half moon. Active top leg, stretches and reaches. And return both hands to the earth. Bend that left knee so you can find that lunge. Arms can lift. So you angle the body forward, hands to heart center. See if you can step forward. Press through the feet, arms circle up. And then other way, back to the heart center. Sink your hips back into chair and fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold, sit back into plank. Hips nice and high. And forward into the plank. Hips high. And forward. One more time, hips high. Bend those knees a little here. Bend to straight, or bend to straighter. So you have the momentum, a little bit of supportive momentum, but hopefully also strength. Top, forward, wide. Hands press together as you sink the hips down to Mala. From here, see if you can root to rise again. And hop or step those feet together. Hands to heart. Press actively through those legs and lift the left knee off or up. Extend the leg and bend. Extend and bend. Just a few more like this. Last one, reach, rebend, sole of foot presses into that shin. The knee is open and then returns forward. Open and forward. Find a point that's not moving. Stay open in the tree. Try not to lean back like I was. And lengthen that left leg and rebend. Lengthen and rebend. So 2 more. Last one. Reach, rebend, knee faces forward. Drive that leg back behind you. Body pitches forward. Find your warrior 3. And that right hand can reach toward the earth. Oops, as you rotate toward the left, stack the hips as best you're able. Shoulders open, or top shoulder opens. And then hands return to the earth as you rebend slightly that right knee so you can set the left toes down. And release that back knee again to the earth. To roll up, arms reach, angle the body forward. Place that back forefoot on the earth, lift up and step forward. Press to stand, arms circle and fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, step back into plank. Come forward with the body and bend those elbows, chaturanga. Lift up into your version of up dog and hips up and back, downward facing dog. That right leg can come high into the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hips once more. Then the kneecap will face the earth, the pelvis faces the earth. Roll forward into a plank as you draw that knee in toward the chest. And then let that right knee slide over to the left elbow and to the right elbow and the left and the right and the left, and lengthen that leg to the left. The foot is planted. Nice work. One more inhale. And exhale, draw the knee back in. Leg goes high into the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hips again. Then pelvis faces the earth. Come forward into the plank. Right elbow this time with the knee. Left, right, left again. Lengthen the leg, fall in triangle if you'd like. You could also lift that left arm, hips high. More breath in. And then exhale, ground that left hand, rebend the right leg, suction cup it in toward your center, and let's just place it down. That left leg goes long. You could remain here on the shin. So shin and thigh in alignment in this variation and press through the legs. Okay. Or tuck the back toes, drape that front shin if you haven't already, and find strength here. So instead of coming, right down into that nice, for some people, nice pigeon, stay strong here and press through the legs. High variation. We're not going too deep. Keeping muscular engagement. Stay in the high variation or keep the muscular engagement and still come down with that strength. At the same time as the legs are strong, see if you can soften the shoulders, move the jaw. And press yourself up onto your hands once more. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, find plank, hips nice and high. Roll forward with the body, perhaps lower onto the knees, lower onto belly, little sphinx here, or even high cobra. And lower right back down. Slide into a child's pose just for a moment. And tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. That left leg this time comes high into the sky. Bend the knee, stack hips open to left. Then return to center, roll forward into the plank, hug that knee in nice and tight. That knee goes to left elbow, right, left, right, left, right, and lengthen the left leg out to the right hand side. The foot plants. Nice work. One more breath in, hips high. Hug that knee back in toward center. Lift the leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips to the left. Realign the hips here. Come forward into your plank. Right elbow or right knee to right elbow. Other elbow. Just keep switch, switch. And then next time you come over to the right, lengthen that leg. And this time maybe you'd like to lift the right arm off the earth and the hips. It's like there's a string on your hips pulling you to the ceiling. Another breath in. And then ground that right hand, or the right hand. Suction cup in that leg. Lengthen to the sky and behind the body. And draw it through. Place the shin on the earth. Could stay here or tuck the toes, drape the shin instead of having it in alignment with the thigh. It's up to you what feels good in your hips. And press through shin, through back leg, so that it would be easier to have the hands off. We're still getting some sensation of stretch, but with some strength. So we're not doing this. Nice and high. Pelvis facing forward as best it can. Maybe the forearms do come down, but from this place of integration. Few more breaths. Soften upper body again. More inhale. And exhale to press into hands. Tuck back toes to lift the back knee. Reach that left leg back into a plank and hips nice and high. One more time, that little crouch and lengthen of the legs or partial lengthen. And you could just step your right foot to the outside of the right hand, and same thing with the left leg, or a little hop forward back into Mela. Long through spine. One more breath in. And then hands behind the body. Bring yourself into a reverse tabletop. Maybe you lengthen out that right leg. Maybe even lift the leg to the sky. Rebend. Set the foot down. Other leg lengthens. Right, rebend. Set the foot down. Hips a little higher. Let's get into the hips again. That right leg reaches. Cross it over, flex your ankle. Lower the hips. Same as pigeon. This stretches the same areas. Press that right outer foot into the thigh, and the thigh can press back. It's like you're drawing this heel toward the body energetically. Lift the hips up, uncross the leg. Other leg lengthens. Flex ankle, cross, and hips lower. Again, active. Another inhale. And exhale, hips lift. Release that leg long, slide heel in, lower the bottom. Find your forearms here. Lift through the heart and soften. Lift through heart, soften. Final time, heart is high, and then lengthen those arms so you can find your spine. Press the arms down and peel the spine off. This time you can come higher, just not fully on the neck. You're on the shoulders here. Shoulders and arms press down, maybe a little higher in the bridge. That right leg can come up into the air. It's a little balanced, but yet not standing. Rebend that leg, set the foot down, other side, lift it up, rebend, set it down. Roll through the spine. Hug those knees in and then lengthen the legs to the sky. Using the hands as a support here to draw the toes toward the nose. So stretch the back line now. Stay here, or if plow is in your practice, those arms will press down. Make sure the neck is still. You're not looking around during this. Legs go high, hips are lifted, and the legs can go over to any degree overhead. Again, that neck needs to remain still. See if the breath can remain long, even though we're in this more congested position. Or inhale. And exhale to slowly lift those legs higher again if they're overhead at all. And see if you can use your center to slowly roll through the spine. And hug the knees in. Let's widen those legs into a V. and then happy baby to close. So if you'd like to take peace fingers this time, also take the backs of thighs, but peace fingers would be your index, your middle finger, and your thumb. The index and middle wrap around the inside or between the big toe and the next toe, and the thumbs on the outside. Feet together, then let the soles come down. Close those knees like a book. One more little supine rotation for the hips. Shift the hips to the right, legs go left, arms reach open. Stretch for the chest too. Heavy the shoulders as much as they will naturally. And opposite side. Return to center. And find your variation of Savasana. Could even be on the belly, on the side. Notice where you sense the breath most. For some of you, it may be in the nostrils. For others, the chest. Perhaps you sense it more in through the low ribs and the belly. And maybe even into the pelvis. You sense the diaphragms work together, the throat diaphragm, the main diaphragm, and the pelvic diaphragm. As they move with the inhale and the exhale. If minding the breath, maybe you let that go. Let your attention wander where it will. And bring small movements to the body. Maybe you open and close those hands and curl and splay the toes. Attention to these moving parts. Perhaps a knee hug. And roll onto your favorite side. When you're ready, have a seat, either cross-legged or on the shins. If it's safer, the knees on the shins might be nice. Hands can come behind the body. Lift through the hips. Stretch through the front line here. Return. Hands interlace or just reach back. Open across chest. Then take one arm across the body. And opposite arm. And return to center. Arms can circle. Bring the hands to the forehead. May our thoughts come from our hearts. Hands to the mouth and throat. May your words be kind yet empowered. And to the heart, where compassion lies. May we be able to tap into that deeper inner compassion, kindness, and love. Thank you for practicing with me today. Sat Nam.